Hey guys, so it's been a crazy couple of weeks. So last month we all had the flu, then it kind of just, we still have not felt better, and now I think we're getting colds again. And to top it all off, last week I had to have a root canal. Like, it was the worst pain in my life. I've had 4 kids, so I know pain. So what happened was I was getting this tooth pain, and it just kind of would come and go, and it was in my jaw too. So I thought maybe it's sinus infection, sinus pressure, I don't know. But it just like wouldn't stop. Like, it just kept getting stronger, kept getting more often, and ibuprofen and Tylenol were not helping it anymore. So I went into the dentist and they're like, yeah, you need a root canal. So this was like Friday afternoon, or Saturday actually. They got me in on the weekend, which was amazing. Then they scheduled me Monday morning at 6:30 in the morning to get my root canal, and I could not wait. I was like, I would go at like 1 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning if I have to. 6:30 is fine. Like, it's not too early. And especially in this crazy weather, it's just been snow, wind. Like, I'm ready to move somewhere warmer. I'm ready for just, I'm so sick of the snow. Anybody else? If you live in the snow and you hate it, like, what's up? I know. So, I went and got my root canal, and then that day it just hurt so bad still, and I just would sit there and just cry because I don't deal with pain well. If I'm a little weird or like off, it's because I'm on pain meds and I think I'm getting a cold, so my voice kind of sounds weird. I'm ready for this season to be over. Anyways, so today's video is on this little bad boy right here that I picked up. If you're not familiar with Anastasia palettes, this is my first one. This is the only one I've had until now, and it has been very loved. Like, she's gone through some things. She's missing some shadow. Like, if I need to, I'll replace this because it's one of my favorites. I'll probably do a video soon on my favorite palettes. So when this palette first came out, there was so much drama. Like, everybody hated it, and it was like everyone said that they were not, like, way too pigmented and like would just be a mess, and the kickback, which is that when you dip your brush into it, all this powder kind of fluffs everywhere. So everyone was saying these palettes are bad, they're not, like, don't waste your money. So we're gonna test it out and see what the deal is with these shadows, because I'm like, if they made this, why would they make something bad? Like, they know what they're doing, right? And I feel like with brands, like, when you love a brand, you just want to love everything that they come out with, and then when you don't, you're like, but I still kind of love it, right? Like, I don't know. That's how I feel about Anastasia palettes. I've been wanting to get more, so when I found this one for cheaper, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna test it out. So we'll see. I use this for the look I'm wearing right now, so just keep watching if you want to see how I did that and how they performed on my eyes and all of that. This palette did come out, I think, August of 2017, so it's been a while. They've come out with several since then. There's been the Norvina palette, there's been Soft Glam, and I think the latest one is Sultry palette, something like that. And those all look amazing. I want all of them. I mean, do I need more palettes? No. Am I gonna buy them? Probably. What can I say? It's makeup. So yeah, I think that's everything. If you want to see me use this palette and see how I did this eye look today, then just keep watching. All right, so let's get into this palette. I'm really excited about this because I really wanted it before, but then I just wasn't sure because a lot of people didn't like it. So we're gonna see what it's like. So today is actually the day after Valentine's Day. I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. I did. We went to dinner. Excuse me. Me and my husband went to dinner. We got to go get this really amazing pizza at this place I love next to us. And it was really cool because our church did this thing where they watched all the kids so that the mom and dads can go out on a date for Valentine's Day. It was really nice. So we did that, even though it was like a blizzard outside. It was so cold and just crazy windy. But after dinner, we were like, oh, we still have some time. Let's go kill some time before we get the kids. So we went to TJ Maxx, and I love TJ Maxx. Like, I will go there any time of day because I always find good stuff. I found this palette right here, and I was so excited. They had them in like these plastic like things so you can't open it, which is really good because a lot of times at TJ Maxx, people kind of just open everything and just swatch it, and it's a mess. So you can't really get unopened things unless they're like in a security package, which these were. They had a lot of them. Some of them were marked $24.99. This one was $19.99. Like half of them were more expensive. I don't know why. But of course I was like, I'll grab the $19.99 one, duh. I opened it just to make sure it wasn't broken, but I haven't swatched or used this yet. So let's see. But I love this color. It's so pretty, and it's kind of the velvety packaging that they have with their palettes. So let's have a look. That is the Subculture palette. Who are we kidding? I don't need any more palettes, but I had to try it. So I'm going to swatch them. So here we have the first three. See that? The first one, it kind of looks white in the pan, but it's got like a pink shift to it. The second one's kind of a light, very light brown shade. The third one is kind of this really cool green color. That one looks nice. Those are pretty. So those are the next three. That goldy bronze one's really pretty. That's called Adorn. And then there's All Star and Mercury. So there we have the blue. It's called Axis. The more kind of corally orangey color is Roxy. And then there's the electric shade, which is interesting. It's kind of looks like a neon green and gold almost. It's a very different shade. So we have Fudge, New Wave, and Untamed. Then the final two, we have Edge and Rowdy, kind of a mustardy yellow shade and then a deep dark purple. I'm interested to see if I want to keep this or if it's just not worth it and I end up returning it, because I don't know, there's just something about Anastasia palettes that I really love, and I only have, so far I only have Modern Renaissance, so I've been wanting to get more, and hopefully this works out because these are very unique shades. So let's zoom in and start. So first thing, I'm going to take the P. Louise base, just eyeshadow primer, and put that on the lids. This is just going to help cover any darkness or like veins that I have, and then also helps the eyeshadow to be very pigmented and stay in place all day. So this is just one I really like. This is one I use when I'm using bright colors and I really want the colors to pop. And just ignore my nails. I know they're bad right now because I do the just like do it yourself glue on ones, and we're doing a lot of work on our house right now trying to get it ready to sell, and I cannot keep them on. So I was like, you know what? Just taking them off. So now I have broken, ugly nails. So just ignore it, please. All right, so now that I have the base down, I'm also going to take my translucent loose powder. This is the Coty Airspun one. And when I'm doing dark eyeshadows, a lot of times I'll just do my eyeshadow first and then go in with my face makeup, but I didn't do that today. So Another trick you can do is to just take a lot of your loose powder on a brush and just stamp it under your eye. And that way, if you have fallout, you can just sweep it away, and it's pretty much just going to sweep away really nice and easy. And plus, you look cute. So we'll do that on both eyes. And I'm hoping this looks really good. I don't really have a plan yet of what eye look I'm doing. I'm just gonna see where it goes. So now that we look awesome, I'm gonna go in with a little bit bigger blending brush first. This one is the Wet n Wild. I think it's just called a crease brush. It's kind of stained because I used it with like green face paint. First, I'm going to go in with this kind of really light brown shade, Dawn, in the crease. So yeah, and they are definitely very dusty. I just picked up a little bit and you can see, which to me is not that big of a deal. You kind of do waste product when you're dipping into it, but it doesn't, as long as it performs well on the eye, I don't really care about that. So I'm going to take that and just go in the crease. Just make sure I blend it really nice. Now that I have the transition shade, this one's just a Morphe JH36, a little bit smaller blending brush. I'm going to go in with this little bit deeper brown Mercury and take that a little bit lower in the crease. And definitely a lot of shadow is kicking up when I go in with the brush. And I'm going very lightly right now, so they're very pigmented. And then once I have that pretty much blended out, I just like to go into the inner corner and kind of bring that color just slightly into more the inner crease of my eye, but so there's not going to be a ton there, just when you blend a lot of it out, so there's not a lot left on the brush. So you want eyeshadows to be pigmented, but you also don't want them to be so pigmented and to where they just kind of fluff everywhere and fluff off your eye when you're blending. You definitely want them to stay put. So there's a balance when they press the shadows that they have to get right in order to get the formula pressed right. So that way it's pigmented enough, but not too powdery and too, and not pressed enough, or else you're going to just get a lot of fallout and it's going to just fluff and not stick to your lid. I'm going to go back in with that first shade and just kind of blend up a little bit and get more of a seamless blend on that. And tell me why, like why for some reason do I have like symmetrical zits right under my eyebrow, like right there and right there? Like what is that about? Is that normal? I don't think I've ever had that happen before. And I was like, one popped up and I'm like, is that a zit under my eyebrow? Like where did you come from? Get out of here. And then the next day it was like, bam, another one. Like, no, get out of here. This is for eyeshadow, not for zits. So that's always fun. I'm gonna go in with a little more of the loose powder and just kind of reapply that right there. So we're kind of cleaning up and making sure our shadow doesn't come too low, because that can drag your eye down and make your eyes look a little droopy and heavy. this little brush, don't know what it is, but it's a smaller blending brush. And I'm going to go into the lighter green called Destiny. And a trick I like to do when I'm kind of doing, I want a more like wing shape with my eyeshadow, but I don't want to do like tape. I feel like that gives too much of a harsh line and you can't blend it out. So what I like to do is take like a card, any kind of cardboard. This is actually from Ipsy. And if you don't know about Ipsy, look it up. It's amazing. So is BoxyCharm. But it's, you just set it, and I don't go right where my line kind of is that I'm already creating with eyeshadow. I go a tiny bit above it. And then also I do eyeshadow underneath. So I have these little kind of folds, wrinkles here. I want my eyeshadow to cover that up. So I'm going to go right below that. If I brought this up too high, my little wrinkles are just going to be out in the open and just visible. So I want to cover them up with a matte shadow so that you don't really see them as much. So we're going to lay this just kind of right here and just gently set it. And then I'll take the shadow and just kind of gently blend and buff right in that area. And it's going to give you that wing shape to your eye without doing a wing yet. And I just find this looks really nice, especially on hooded lids. So then you can see there's like a little harsh line there, but we'll blend that out. And then too with the card, I like to do that because then you can see, oh, I want to go a little bit lower right in this area. So you can, and you just build up your shadow. Instead of, I've done with the Scotch tape, and you peel it away and you're like, no, that doesn't look good. And then it's like, it's already done. It's really hard to blend out and make it look really nice once you've already done it. So I think using a card is just better. So I'm really liking this green shade. Seems to be going on really nice. I'm just going to blend that up into the crease and just on the outer V. I'm going to go back to that blending brush we just used before and go back in with the darker brown Mercury and just kind of blend this out a little bit. So that looks pretty good. I don't really see that it's that green, so they're kind of getting a little muddy. I think the green shades like that are really hard. I feel like most of them just kind of do that where they just kind of look like a dark brown, like you don't really see that they're this really cool kind of, I don't know what color you'd call it, but kind of like moss green, or I don't know, I'm bad with colors. But I think it's a really cool color, but it's just kind of not really translating on the eye as that color. Untamed, this one that's a little bit deeper, we're just going to go into that one with a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to go just slightly up a tiny bit and just go more in the crease and just kind of build up the depth. I'm also going to take on that same brush just the darker brown fudge and do kind of the same thing, just go over, oh, that's not the brush, this little guy. Just kind of go over the same area. I'm going to go in with Adorn all over the lid. Okay, this is just a flat shader brush. Hello. Flat shader brush. I'm first just going to go in with the brush just dry and see what it does. Looks pretty powdery, so. I mean, it's pretty. Let's see what it does if we wet our brush. Okay, so wetting the brush definitely gives you more of that shine. I also want to try it just with my finger and see. I think my finger's my favorite way to apply. So as wetting it, I feel like that made it really textured on my lid, and you can just like see all my little fine lines and wrinkles on my lid now, which is not a good look. Like, I like my shimmery shadows to have texture, but not too much, because then it can look like your eyelid is just like 100 years old. So let's try with just the finger on the other side and see, because I just like right in this area where I applied it wet, it's not looking the best. So let's try. Just like doesn't give you the best like color payoff if it's not wet. So let me add just a little bit with my wet brush just on the center to kind of catch the light. I'm going to go in with one of my fluffier blending brushes and just kind of go over the edge of that, so there's nothing harsh going on. It's kind of hard because the other shimmers don't really go with that one, so I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try putting this electric shade right here. I'm going to try doing that on the inner corner, like inner third, and just see what happens. But I don't really love the colors together. That's one thing about palettes that is usually really nice, is that all the colors go with each other really nice. So you don't have to, you know, guess and try to figure out what you're going to do and what's going to look good. It's just all of them look really nice. So this palette doesn't really do that. It's more of a palette that you're going to have to use other palettes with. Let's go back in with Adorn and kind of blend these two shadows together a little better. Like, I don't know, is this... Do I like this? Do I not? I don't know. And I mean, I do feel like I'm going to have to go into the outer corners and deepen that up again. The shimmer shade kind of, you know, got all up in there, and it's not looking as dark as it was. So let's do that. I'm going to take Untamed, the darker green. I mean, I'm not loving this, so I was hoping I would. I mean, this is a lot longer than I usually spend on my eyeshadow, kind of when I'm doing looks like this. All right, so I'm gonna go into the Modern Renaissance. This is the good one. Oops. Okay, it's okay. She's okay. I'm gonna go into, take a combination of this kind of light matte shade and the gold, the Primavera. I'm going to take a combo of those for my brow bone highlight, just on a flat shader brush. See, it just doesn't look blended like in this whole area. It looks like I didn't really do anything there. So I'm going to just add a little bit of burnt orange in the crease and see if I can get a little warmth built up. I mean, you can see the difference there, just adding that tiny bit of shadow. It's time to dust off this powder under my eye. Then we can do the lower lash line. All right, let's try to finish this up. Let's do the lower lash line. I'm taking that smaller little fluffy brush and I'll go in with, I'll just do fudge first, the darker brown. Just go really tightly on my lash line. I go in with this kind of second one we used, and I'm going to go into Destiny, that first green, and just blend this out. That's one of my dogs. Okay, then I'm going to go in also with the burnt orange from the Modern Renaissance, just to add a little warmth down there. The shade Electric, that's kind of the almost neon green, shimmery. Get my special Royal and Langnickel pencil brush that I love for the inner corner. All right, so I'm gonna do some liner and lashes and I will be right back. So I'm back with my liner and lashes. I actually didn't do falsies today. I felt like I didn't really need them, but I kind of like how this look turned out, but I feel like it took so long to build it up and keep going back and forth between colors. Like, I want the shadow, the shimmer to be a little like more. So I'm gonna show you guys. I got this Eco Soul. This is like a Korean brand, I think, I got this at CVS when I was in California, and it's really pretty. I want all the colors. They only had a couple, but this is in the shade BE01. Oh, wait. Gold Fizz, that's what it is. So it kind of is just like this pressed kind of, it's like, it almost feels wet, but it's kind of not. It's one of those kind of shadows. So it's just so pretty. So it's just very reflective. So I'm going to add some of this and see if I can't, you know, get a little more something on my eyes like I want. So I'm just going to use my finger. And I mean, you can see the difference of how reflective that is. And that's more what I like in a shimmer shadow, is just something that's going to catch the light and be just a little brighter and a little more, you know, just more. Because if you're taking the time to do shimmer, you just want it to look good. So that's kind of what I wished that eyeshadow would have given me. This is a little bit lighter of a shade, but it just gives you that more reflective look that I love. I'm kind of sad to say it, but I might return this. I feel like it just, I don't know. I'm not excited to use this again. Like, I'll definitely use it a couple more times and see if I can get something better to work. But I mean, with this one, it was just like instant, like, love. Like, I instantly was like, yes, these are amazing. I love this. Can't wait to use it again. So it's very sad, and it's like, I understand why it's at TJ Maxx for $19.99 when they're normally $42. So I think if you want to experiment with different colors and you know, are more experienced with makeup and you know what you're doing and you want this, go ahead and get it. But I don't think it's worth it for someone that wants to do easy eyeshadow and wants something quick. I think this is a pass. Sad to say it, but they kind of missed on this one. Now I think all the other Anastasia palettes are so good. Everybody loves them. So any of the other ones are like, they're amazing. All right, so that's everything for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have this palette, if you have any Anastasia palettes, which ones your favorites are, if you're planning on getting any, like, let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.